So let's talk about the new Grinch movie that just came out. The second feature-length Grinch movie after the Jim Carrey, Ron Howard one. And this Grinch movie is done by Illumination, who did stuff like Despicable Me, Secret Life of Pets, Sing. And the funny thing is with this movie, with the Grinch movie that just came out, like, I didn't hate this movie, but in terms of being incredibly, for like a kids movie, being incredibly generic and having no identity to it, is this movie. This movie is perfect for Illumination because I have not seen every one of their movies, but for the most part, like 95% of the time, I guess besides the first Despicable Me movie, this is just borderline generic and bland, and I really thought that it tries to be so much like the original Grinch, like short like 20-minute thing, and then we've got the Jim Carrey movie where it does things with that too, but in a weird way it has no identity for itself. Like, this is just, honestly, it was just a really uninteresting watch, besides a few things, and I'll say positive things about it. I don't think this is the worst movie of the year. And I see a lot of movies all the time, and especially just every week at the theater. So watching this one, I thought to myself, it's harmlessly dull, with a few exceptions. And the positives I can give this, like the other Illumination movies, this is a gorgeous animated movie. The animation is incredible. But it makes the movie feel hollow, more hollow in a way, because it's like, yes, it looks incredibly gorgeous. It's a great looking movie, but like everything else is just bland. So again, like the other films they've done for the most part, is very incredibly gorgeous. The animation is just outstanding in this movie, like all their other ones. So the animation was great. And Benedict Cumberbatch I thought was totally alright as the Grinch. Like, he wasn't like super pissed all the time, like he had happy moments, but he was totally fine. Like, I thought he was totally serviceable. Benedict Cumberbatch I think is totally fine in this movie. And that's it. Like, it looks good, Benedict Cumberbatch is totally fine, but this movie is hollow. It's just... Oh, actually, I'll give it another thing. I chuckled at a couple times in this movie, but they're cheap chuckles for kids. It's not trying to be anything incredibly like, ooh, really great humor. It's just trying to be really, like, just very much kids humor. But there were moments where, even as an adult, I still laughed at them a couple times. Like, I chuckled. So, visually speaking, this looks incredible. Benedict Cumberbatch is totally fine. There's a couple jokes that got me, but a lot of the jokes were just so processed and generic that it's like, no, I can't give... Like, I don't think this is the worst movie that I've seen this year so far. Definitely not. This is definitely not the worst. It's just incredibly mediocre. It just doesn't give anything that gives it its own identity, besides the fact that, oh, it's the Grinch. It's supposed to be another adaptation of the Grinch. But it's weird because, like, the Jim Carrey one, like, I saw that as a kid, but I never loved it. Honestly, I really didn't ever love it. A lot of people I know love that movie, but I didn't grow up with it. I saw it once or twice growing up, and I was like, oh, this is really weird. But at least that one is more... Like, it's weird to say, that one's at least more memorable in how weird it is and how creepy it is. Like, it is a creepy-ass looking movie. And it spawned, like, the Cat in the Hat, too. Like, the live-action Mike Myers Cat in the Hat. So it did something in terms of, like, being incredibly weird-ass movie. And in this one, it's just so processed. Like, it's a processed kids movie. So it's not anything to really remember, besides the fact that Benedict Cumberbatch was fine to me. And if I was a kid watching this, I would have probably enjoyed this movie. But as an adult, I looked at this like, wow, this just... I see these jokes so many times in kids' movies, and I'm being a hypocrite too, because there's horror, like, there's so many other genres that I'd rather watch, even if they are cliched, like horror movies, where horror movies I can watch on, like, literally anything horror. I don't care, I'll watch any horror movie. whether it's generic or not. But as for kids movies in particular, for me, if they're not something that's well done or well made, they really are groan inducing, like in a way, like with the processed jokes, with the processed characters, processed story in this movie, that it just didn't, I don't know, it just really made me think that this is one of those genres that I can't, like, the magic kind of goes away as an adult with this type of genre if, like, the movie is, in my opinion, bland or generic kids movie. And Illumination is great at that because, like I said, Secret Life of Pets was really generic too. It was kind of like Toy Story. Sing was like a movie version of like American Idol or something. In terms of like these people are all going to go on a singing competition, and you just see them like do wacky hijinks. And like Despicable Me was like Megamind, where like it's an evil guy who learns to be good. Even though he's got evil ways. Like, it's the same kind of thing. And also Despicable Me had the Minions, which were like rip-offs of the aliens from Toy Story. So again, another Toy Story rip-off. So, what I'm trying to say is Illumination is one of those companies where, yeah, I'll see their movies because I like to see everything, even if it's good or bad. And this wasn't awful. It wasn't even bad. I just say that it's very, very forgettable and very generic, with a few things that I enjoyed. Like I said, the visually pleasing, Benedict Cumberbatch is fine. The jokes, a couple of them I laughed at, even as an adult. But besides that, it's just nothing. There's nothing to it besides a couple things that I thought made it not bad. Like, it's not a bad movie. It's just utterly average and forgettable, with a few tiny little things that make me go, okay, this isn't the worst thing ever. And it's definitely not even close. But yeah, I didn't really enjoy this one. It was just, again, perfectly average for a kid. And if I was a kid, I would have enjoyed this. But as an adult, few chuckles, cool visuals. Benedict Cumberbatch is fine. But it's just, besides that, it's just nothing else. It's just a really forgettable movie of the week. So, anyways, that's how I feel about it. Pretty forgettable. So I can't wait to watch the other movies that came out this week, because I've been missing in the past couple weeks. So I'm excited for Overlord, which I'm going to see next, which, fuck yeah, I'm so excited for that movie. But yeah, this movie was just bland and forgettable, and I really didn't care for it besides a few little things. So overall, this was just a pretty forgettable movie.